What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I am Lieutenant Nathaniel Flint of the Landship Scorpios, and today we're going to be doing a little video of our own. So as of today, as of recording this, there was no May update for Rivet Wars Reloaded, and there does not seem to be a June update as of this time. We're about halfway through the month. So I thought this was the perfect time to have a little update of our own and discuss the action cards. That's right. There was still some content we did not do for the work in progress PDFs that were released to us way back in the day when we gave our 2 cents on that way long ago. So I thought we could just take a moment to go through them. I do want you guys to keep in mind that these are work in progress PDFs from about a year ago. So whatever action or changes that they were going to make or could have made are long gone. Hopefully, I don't find anything new while going through these, that hopefully us as a community gave feedback and found all the typos, whatever. So forgive whatever we do find this video, and hopefully they found it too in actual QA, because they're already in production. So it's a little late to be finding new stuff. Basically, what we're going to be doing is just kind of going through the action cards. If you know from my core rule books, action cards is a resource that you can pull during the, I believe it's the control phase now. It's not called the card phase. And they give you extra stuff. What we will see is the makeup of an action card. We'll get the name of it. It'll tell you when you can use it, or how to use it, and then it will tell us what the card does. And these were given a little bit of a lift in a redesign as well, to be a lot less like gotcha and like absolutely destroying your opponent. But they are more varied in what they do. So let's take a look. Some of these might be familiar. It's fine that they're reloading old action cards. But some of them I do remember going, oh yes, like this is a really good idea. So let's go on and take a look. We're going to start off with Tunnel Rat, which is activated in the friendly deployment phase. So when you deploy a non-hero infantry unit, choose an area in no man's land and resolve deviation from that area. After resolving deviation, deploy the infantry unit in that area. So this is one of the like quick deployments up in the middle of the board. So this is instead of deploying in your deployment zone, choose an area and deploy them, and they pop out of the ground like a little rat. I love this. This is a great card. We had several of these kind of deploy anywhere action cards in classic Rivet Wars, and it looks like a lot of them make their return in Rivet Wars Reloaded. Strafing Run. So here we get to see a little, some of these cards have some like lore or like some in-world flavor. So we have, I'm often asked how I can strafe men struggling helplessly in the mud of no man's land. I say, easy, you just don't lead them as much. Squadron Leader, Lieutenant Nigel Overton. So that's kind of funny. So we have friendly combat phase, and you can use this. So choose 2 adjacent areas and resolve the following attack against each enemy unit in both of those areas. So you get 1 attack in 2 areas, where you get 2 die against armor type 1 and 2, and 1 die against armor type 3 and 4. A solid card. I'm pretty sure we had something similar in Rivet Wars Classic. This is a great card, good flavor. Especially when you don't have aerial aces. This kind of reminds you that there is an air war going on as well. Target practice. Friendly combat phase. Before making an attack, gain +1 die. This is just adding an extra die to any of your attacks during your combat phase. A solid card type. This one, hopefully there'll be multiple of these in the card deck, because this is just a solid card. Instantly know what it's used for, and that extra die could be the difference between a hit or a miss. Improved assembly line is making its return to Rivet Wars Reloaded. As the fight wore on, proud families donated tons of scrap to the war effort, allowing the Blight to continue outfitting their infantry and cavalry with the latest weapons. Modern War Magazine, issue 29. This is during the friendly deployment phase. You get to deploy one non-hero cavalry or support unit for free in this turn. So this is kind of nice. So they've kind of updated this so that it does not include hero units. So those allies aren't getting a free deployment of Captain Parman. So that's kind of nice, where it's kind of balanced out a little bit. But this is still an extremely helpful card, especially to get in early in the game, to get extra cavalry or getting those much needed support units out for free. That is a really powerful card. So even with that little bit of balance change that specifically really impacts a lot of allied strategies, this is still a really good card. Let's try that again during the friendly combat phase. Reroll all dice rolled for a single attack. This is extremely powerful. I absolutely love this. If you have an attack or a unit you just need to get down, or you just need to get as much damage on as possible, this could be beyond powerful. This could be the difference between taking an objective or not. I absolutely love the addition of this card. The artillery strike is making its return. It's during the friendly combat phase. Choose an area and resolve the attack below against each enemy unit in that area. So that is one attack with 2 die against armor types 1 and 2, and 1 die against armor types 3 and 4. So this one is a little bit weaker than the strafing run card, but this is still a powerful thing. Getting just an extra free attack that you can use almost anywhere on the board. Anywhere on the board. This is just super nice and helpful. That single attack, which would be a blast attack, I don't know why they didn't do that here unless they thought it was redundant. I like redundancies, make it clear as possible. But that does really could be the difference between where your enemies attack, where you put your focus, or really undoing one of your opponent's strategies with their way back line before your turn is done. Battle rations, a friendly movement phase. Choose an area, and non-hero infantry units in that area gain +1 move this turn. So this is fun. It is an interesting choice to, again, call out non-hero, but that kind of turns a lot of these action card buff cards into helping the base units to become bigger and better. So I don't hate it. I do feel that this is a solid addition. I really like this card in general. Getting extra movement can really ensure that you get to like a bunker or an objective, or just getting a unit who is just deployed this turn up to the battlefield so that they can be more helpful next turn. So I do really like this. Special blend. This'll get their gears running. Field Mechanic Barston. Friendly movement phase. A non-hero support or tank unit of your choice gains +1 move this turn. This is making its return. Again, they're kind of adding that non-hero stipulation. I'm not sure if there are any hero tank units. I'm going to regret saying that. I'm pretty sure there is at least one that I can think of. But like, this is again just helping out making sure that it's kept balanced, that it's not hero specific, helping out the base units, which this is more than helpful. I mean, this could be huge for getting a Schlitten up there, or this could be huge to getting a tank with tank shock like the Ostrich deeper into enemy territory. So honestly, an amazing card. Trench Runner, friendly movement phase. Choose a non-hero cavalry or support unit, and it gains Runner 1 this turn. Runner 1. This unit gains +1 movement when it begins its movement on a trench. So this is really cool. It's basically giving +1 movement to any cavalry or support unit who is currently on a trench. This is really solid. A good little bit of flavor. I love it. This is a good, solid card. Again, just giving those units a little bit of extra movement to get up into the fight. A lot of deployment zones are on trenches, so doing a little bit of coordination with this card, you can ensure that you can get those special support or cavalry units that much quicker into the fight. Carrier Pigeon. While unpredictable and not entirely reliable, the troops greatly appreciate carrier pigeons in emergencies. They have proven invaluable for calling in support and summoning reinforcements. Plus, when rations are tight, they fry up quite nicely. Sergeant's Manual to Bringing Your Troops Home, Chapter 4, Signaling for Help. So I love these little flavor things. But in the classic game, this is one that I definitely remember. Sergeant's Manual to Bringing Your Troops Home. I absolutely love that reference. I used to joke about on the forums at the Come On one about actually writing a Rivet Wars book called Sergeant's Manual for Bringing Your Troops Home. And adding in all these quotes, but then just making it like a Rivet Wars strategies book. I would still love to do it, but it would feel like a lot of work for something that wouldn't really be seen by many people. But I do absolutely love these little in-world things. Anyways, Carrier Pigeon. It's during the friendly deployment phase, and it's draw 2 action cards. So this is just a good way to get 2 more action cards right at the get-go. What a great pull early in the game if you can manage it. Things that go boom during the friendly movement phase. Place a minefield in an empty, open ground or trench area within ground range 1 of one of your infantry units. I love these cards. I love things like this. In my games, we do a lot of, I guess you would call it homebrewing, but it's a lot of altering of main scenarios and maps. And one of the things is I don't like how little minefields and barbed wires and things like that are used. So that's usually the first thing we go to when we're altering a map is where can we put minefields, where we can put barbed wire. So I love action cards that interact with that, allowing some customization. The only hard thing is getting into a position where you can place a minefield or barbed wire in a way that doesn't hurt you just as much, or if not more, than it hurts your opponent. I do like the idea that it does not stipulate beginning or end of the movement phase. So you could move a unit up whose sole purpose is to then use this card and put a minefield down. I love it. A+. And on to the next card. To the front, the friendly deployment phase. You deploy 2 additional deployment points of infantry this turn. So for most instances, using the base infantry, this is getting 2 free infantry units. That's riflemen or Panzerfaust or hoplites for the Nemoans. This could be very powerful depending on what hands you are. Again, just anytime you can get those little extra units on the board or up into the fight as quickly as possible is absolutely helpful. What a great card. A+. Masks, a classic Rivet Wars card making its return. Horrid stuff, the gas, but they use it, so we use it. Various attributed. This is a friendly combat phase. Choose an area and resolve a gas attack with the following profile. So it's 1 gas cloud attack, where you get 2 die against every armor type. This is quite good. It is one of the few ways the allies get gas attacks, but it's also greatly in theme for Blight being able to just get an extra thing of gas out on the field against an allied player. Very good card. Making its return. Love to see it. Back in the fight. That's got to be worth at least a purple heart, right? Corporal Kirkpatrick. Corporal Kirkpatrick is the new hero plug added to the base set in Rivet Wars Reloaded. Enemy combat phase. When a friendly non-hero infantry or cavalry unit is destroyed, place it on this card. You may deploy it for free during your next deployment phase. What a powerful card. What a great thing to see. And the addition of placing it on this card, and then you can deploy it for free next round instead of just move it to a deployment space. Depending on the scenario you're running, limited deployment spaces could make this card more of a curse than a gift. But again, anytime you can save an infantry or a cavalry unit from needing to be repaid for and redeployed, basically free deployment is good. So this is solid. They again throw that stipulation of non-hero unit in there. Again, not exactly sure why they're doing that. The enemy still will get the bounty. And then if you're more likely, or you feel like you got more use out of this, redeploying the hero. So that makes you feel good. But of course, that just means another bounty up for grabs for your opponent. But I'm assuming this is for balance reasons, or at least to give the appearance of balance reasons, and it's not the end of the world. It's still a great card to pull in the game. So I'm still for it. A+. Still loving this card. Refit. Friendly deployment phase. You can remove 1 damage from a support or a tank unit. A+. Love this. It's a little like heal card in the deployment phase. I love this. This is a powerful card to have, especially when you bring out those heavy metal units, which in Rivet Wars Reloaded are in the reinforcement boxes. But those big armor type 4 units, having anything to keep them in the fight that little bit longer is a good thing. So A+, love this card. Amongst the troops. Friendly deployment phase. When you pay to deploy a hero infantry unit, you may remove one of your non-hero infantry units from friendly territory or no man's land. Deploy that hero in the area you removed the infantry unit from. What an amazing, powerful card to have in your hand. So you have an infantry unit already on the board. Let's just throw it out there and say that it's a rifleman, and you get a hero. You still have to pay for them, and it seems to be you're paying like the cost of the infantry unit that's on the board. You are paying for the right to deploy them up farther than on a deployment zone. So being able to get a hero infantry out on the board. This could be like Corporal Cherami. And you already have him up where he is needed, up closer to objectives, or even just on the objective, holding it that much longer. What a powerful move. There's some strategies that can be used if you get this in your hand. I love this. Great new addition. A+. Overtime. Friendly deployment phase. Gain +1 deployment point this turn. Simple easy. No reason why you wouldn't use this. This could be the difference of getting out like a tank or something if you needed just a little bit more to pool them, or something as simple as just getting one more infantry out on the field with the stuff you actually wanted to put out. Either is a very good use of this card. So I am all for it. A+. Shoot and Scoot, a classic. Friendly combat phase. Choose a friendly unit. After it attacks, it gets to move one area. This is in addition to its other movement. And if it gets multiple attacks, this can happen before or after any one of the attack. Well, it needs to happen after, but it can happen after any one of the attacks. So this has a lot of uses. It could get a unit with 2 attacks to make an attack and then move to a better position where it can do its second attack. Or this could be as simple as having a unit attack and then retreat, and then have some extra movement to retreat further or get to where it needs to further. Or this can act as basically a +1 movement if they do the attack, and then basically gets an extra movement to go towards a bunker or a objective you've just cleared. I mean, all around great card. A+. Double Time, friendly combat phase. Choose a friendly unit. This unit gains +1 move this turn. Kind of in the same note as some of the other just give +1 movement, but still +1 movement can be a huge difference in how the game turns out. Do not underestimate the power of getting units up into the fight quicker or getting them where you need to instead of being that one space short. So A+, love this. It's a good solid unit. I mean, a good solid card, excuse me. A Reload! Friendly combat phase. Choose a non-hero infantry unit that may make an additional attack this turn. Again, a solid action card. Great use. You instantly know what this is for. And this can be a big deal, especially using riflemen against the other infantry to clear out an objective. This could be the difference. But this would also be if one of your Panzerfausts are surrounding and just laying in to an armored unit like an ostrich, and you just need one more hit. This could be the difference. Such a good card. A lot of uses, but also not a lot of uses. It's simple, and its use that it has is very good in a lot of situations. So A+, I love it. Foreign Entanglement, friendly movement phase. Place a barbed wire in an empty open ground or trench area within ground range 1 of your infantry units. As I said before, I love cards like this that get those barbed wire and minefield stuff in use in the game a little bit better. So this is deploy a barbed wire. So you can move up an infantry unit, deploy it one away from you, and you could really mess up some of the plans for your opponent. I love this. I love getting to use barbed wires and minefields. So A+. No notes. Let's see some hustle. Friendly combat phase. Choose a friendly unit without rapid assault. That's an important distinction. It gains rapid assault 2 this turn. And then it goes on to remind us, Rapid Assault 2. During the combat phase, this unit may move 2 areas before choosing to attack. If it moves, it can't move during the movement phase. So, we got some things here. One, on its own, great card. Amazing card. This says a friendly unit without Rapid Assault. That could be Schlitten. Giving them Rapid Assault 2. That's pretty powerful. Getting them up in range to start clearing out some areas. So cool. This could be a tank. Certain tank units or certain beefy infantry units without runner. Giving them Rapid Assault 2 to just get in there and like mess up your opponent. There's a lot of ways this is already a powerful card in your hand. Very good. It does feel a little weird though. And I know it's for balancing reasons. I get it. But I mean, it feels kind of powerful to have a Rapid Assault 2 unit like a mono wheel. And then you could give them Rapid Assault 4. In the massive grand scheme of things, in most maps, that is going to have basically no effect. But I guess, in theory, it could feel way overpowered. Like, anything with 4 movement is one of the fastest units in the game. So in theory, you could argue that it's overpowered giving something that already has a Rapid Assault 2, a Rapid Assault 1, 2 additional moves in that Rapid Assault. It feels overpowered, but it is a one-time use that is a used card that you need to draw. It feels so simple. I don't understand why you would put this stipulation on it. It's a fun moment. You feel like you got the use out of a card and a unit to get them up there even that much quicker before they attack. But again, I have to side on the benefit of the doubt and assume that this is a balanced thing. If you're on the opposite end of this, it could feel really crappy. It could feel like bad luck has ruined your game. So I get it. And this is still has any number of power. You could 100% do a lot of damage with this, with support units, with it doesn't stipulate non-hero, so there's a lot of hero units that I feel like are just slow. So getting them up and then having it be a Rapid Assault on top of that is super important. And you don't need to attack to use Rapid Assault. So this could just be getting 2 movement instead of your normal 1. And if you're not in range to attack anyone, at least you got to move 2 this turn. If it was something you wanted to waste like that, there's any number of uses for a card like this, and I love it. Even with that stipulation, it is still super powerful. So A+. Death from Above. Friendly deployment phase. When you deploy a non-hero infantry unit, choose an area and resolve the deviation. After resolving the deviation, deploy this unit in that area. So this is like parachuting in. It's another kind of like get to deploy them anywhere situation. Love cards like these. Glad to see them making a return in Rivet Wars Reloaded. And I could sit here and tell you about how that is. They're a bit little risky, but these are very good, especially depending on the mission and the scenario you're playing. Being able to just put a unit anywhere could be the difference between victory and defeat. Zigzag. Friendly movement phase. Choose a unit. During its movement, it may move diagonally any number of times instead of once this turn. So I love cards or abilities like this. Cards or abilities like this remind us of this rule. So when you're looking at how this rule is utilized and how it drastically changes the game to have this is super good. Even as simple as 2 diagonals could drastically change the impact of a unit's movement. Let alone if the unit has any other more than 2 movement, like 3 diagonals, you're basically tripling, quadrupling your movement in a way that is crazy. This is choose a unit, no stipulation on type of unit. This could be a tank. Getting 2 diagonal moves could be massive, and I like its addition. It reminds us of the 1 diagonal rule, and this kind of shows us what happens when we don't have that. It's not an attack, so it's not like a sniper or a tank is getting like a sniper scope and getting to make it a massive hit that we could not like plan for or balancing stuff for. But like this movement alone, this could be big. Like this is really good. I approve this card. For all that I'm saying, I do approve it. And the last one that we have in this file is Brace Yourself, Lads. Friendly deployment phase. Choose 2 friendly units. Each unit gains a shield token. Wow, what a great card. So we have shield tokens in the new game, and there's a lot of abilities and things that play around with these shield tokens. And in the end, I do love how they did that. I really do. This is, of course, good. This is basically giving them +1 health. That has to be used. They can only have 1 of shield token at a time, I'm pretty sure. But this is such a powerful card. This is a good use of the card. I love it. Like, I do. This is basically giving +1 health to 2 friendly units. Does not say, no stipulation on it. So these can be tanks. These can be heroes. So good. I love it. You want this card in your deck. So good. And that is what we have for action cards in the core box, in the core thing. But that's not it for action cards in general, because in Aerial Aces, which is Rivet Wars Reloaded's Battle of Brighton, just like in Battle of Brighton, Aerial Aces adds a bunch of action cards that are directly playing around with the air units. So let's take a second and check them out. Attack Out of the Sun, friendly movement phase. Move one of your light aircraft units to an intersection adjacent to an intersection occupied by an enemy air unit. You may rotate your air unit to face in any direction. So this is like a teleport for any of your light aircrafts. So this could be scouts, or the way that this is needed, this could be a lot of your like fighter stuff. In Reloaded, they don't have that. They just have light aircraft or heavy aircraft. So excuse my usage of the old class terms. But this is basically moving like your Osprey and being able to like move it right next to an enemy air unit, and you get to rotate it whichever way you want. So you can basically have it facing them, ready for an attack in the next turn, because it's the friendly movement phase. So it would need to wait for the next turn to be able to be done. So pretty cool. I like the flavor. I do. And this is a powerful card, especially in aerial combat. So I'm all for it. Aces High, friendly combat phase. After killing an enemy air unit, the attacking air unit may immediately move up to 1 intersection and rotate 90 degrees and make an extra attack. So good. What a beautiful card. So you get to attack someone, and if you kill that unit or defeat them, I'm not sure which way they're going to go with the wording, you kill that unit, you get to then move 1, rotate if you need to, and make another attack. This is great against another air unit, but there's no guarantee that they'll clump. This is also good for strafing the ground and being able to make another attack. I love it. A+. A Dive Bomb, friendly combat phase. Choose a square adjacent to a friendly heavy air unit, which these will be the 2 bombers, and resolve the attack below against each model in that grid. So this will be like a blast attack. So we get 1 attack, which is 2 dice against armor types 1 and 2, and 1 die against armor types 3 and 4. Resolve deviation for each unit in that square that wasn't destroyed. So powerful. So this is like an aerial tank shock, where you get to pick a grid and attack it, and then if you don't get them all, you force them to move anyways. How powerful this can be used, especially in a in an objective, but even in a bunker, even in just an area like a choke point, like this could be very powerful, forcing units to move. And I love it. A+. This is good flavor, and this is very powerful mechanics. A quick tune-up during the friendly deployment phase. When deploying an air unit, to reduce its cost by 1. So I'm not sure what this means. This is the symbol for for the minimum movement. So it's like when deploying an air unit to reduce its minimum movement cost by 1. So it can hover. So is this permanent throughout the whole thing? Or is this meant to be reduce its deployment point cost by 1? Which makes a lot more sense during the deployment phase. If you get a benefit, deploy an air unit, and you get to reduce its rivet or deployment point cost by 1. I don't know. I'm assuming I gave feedback on this, since this time later, after going through all the books multiple times and the rules, I'm still tripped up. So I'm assuming this is something I gave feedback on. We're just going to skip it for now. Advanced maneuvers, friendly movement phase. Choose a friendly air unit and move it to an adjacent grid of your choice. It must remain facing the same direction. So this is super cool. It's basically a free movement, but adjacent could be backwards, side to side. Like, this might not be based on its facing, and the fact that it calls out its facing must remain the same. This basically works like the barrel roll or the Immelman kind of movement, where it can drastically change how like the unit moves. I love this. Powerful for air units. It can be the difference to positioning yourself. This is during the movement phase. So positioning yourself for the next round or getting out of the way so that your opponent has a harder time hitting you with their units. A+, love it. In my sights, friendly combat phase. Choose a friendly air unit. It rolls 1 additional die on all of its attacks. Oh my, the power this could have. The power this could be. This could be the difference between a bomber clearing out an objective or one of your air units taking down a hero. Absolutely powerful card. I love it. Paratrooper. Deploy 1 non-hero infantry unit for free in a square adjacent to any of your light aircraft units. I love seeing the return of this card. I could be wrong. I vaguely remember this card almost unaltered in classic Rivet Wars, but of course using this, this was for scout units. So it gave a reason to use scout units if you had this in your hand to get a deployment. But I think that this card has been all around buffed. The fact that the infantry unit is free, I love it. A+. This is good for both sides. And the fact that this now includes like the fighter planes, as well as the scouts, I love that as well. What a great card to get. I mean, even if they're in the back or in your territory, getting a free deployment of an infantry unit is good. So I love it. A+. Deploy the AA guns. Friendly combat phase. Choose an enemy air unit and resolve the attack against it. So this is just being able to shoot AAs. It gets 1 attack. It gets 2 die against armor type 1 and 2, which can hit all air units. So armor type 2 is for the heavier bombers nowadays, and then the armor type 1 is basically everything else. A great card to have. It's like a free attack against them, and some people who maybe aren't that good with the air units or don't invest in them too much, this could be very helpful to get a pesky Dorchester off the field. So I love it. A+. More rudder. Friendly movement phase. You get to choose a friendly air unit, and it may rotate an additional time during its movement this turn. This card is as good or as bad as your current strategy. If you are heavy into planes and have a lot of playing cards with a lot of movement, this could be a great way to get them into position for the next round. If you're not really using that, you may not understand what the benefits of this is, but airplane directions or facing is used in the updated attack ranges as well as in their movement. So this does have the potential to have a lot of impact on your strategy. But for some people, this card may not be as useful. So who knows? But I do think that this is a logical action card to have when you look at what the aircraft mechanics are. Armored plating, friendly deployment phase. Choose a friendly air unit and that unit gains a shield token. Amazing. Air units can have shield tokens. This is big. It's a good way to remind us of that shield token rules and those other cards and abilities that we've seen, and makes us look at our air units a little differently in conjunction with those shield token rulings. So this is a logical card and it's quite powerful. It could be the difference between death or life for a air unit. And with that, we have gone through the action cards. If you like this video, check out our other videos going through the work in progress PDFs. You can look at our one for the core rule books that we have done, as well as we went through the mission cards, which was super nice. We're all still waiting for news and for Rivet Wars Reloaded to come out. If you didn't hear, there were delays. So Q3 2024, which is most likely, my guess is late September. We are still keeping an eye on everything. So if you like this, if you like steampunk content, but you definitely want Rivet Wars updates, subscribe down below. I will be covering every scrap of Rivet War thing I can for as long as I can. If you like this, do make sure to give the video a like. A like is good. Let me know down below how you felt about the action cards or any of the action card rules or anything for Rivet Wars Reloaded. Let me know what kind of action cards you would like. Maybe Decar will do his card creator for Rivet Wars Reloaded, and we'll be able to get some custom cards out there again. If you want to know, links down below to his current for Classic Rivet Wars custom card creator as well as scenario editor. Decar is a great resource for the group, for the community. He is part of the reason Rivet Wars, Classic Rivet Wars had the community it had for so long. And with that news, if you want to know where the Rivet Wars Reloaded community is, I have links down below of where we are. From the official Facebook page where people are showing their paints and stuff, to the unofficial Discord where we're all talking about the updates and our paints and our setups and our after action reports. And without that, I'll let this video be as short as it needs to be. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do love this. Check out the other videos I have, and hopefully we'll get more news about Rivet Wars Reloaded. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys watching my videos and getting them seen wherever they can. Without further ado, I will say bye-bye.